I'm sure you all have heard the old saying, out of the mouths of babes. Well, when it comes to the gruesome twosome, Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, it's more like out of the mouths of Netflix sources. These mysterious, anonymous streaming insiders show up with a degree of regularity in the land of the Sussexes, like when one revealed the company was planning to get their pound of flesh out of Meghan and Harry, or when the news was revealed that Meghan and Harry had fallen out with their first director. And this week, we got a whole new bit of Netflix insider info. An anonymous source has showed up in the Daily Mail to claim that the powers that be inside Netflix are feeling relieved that Harry, the world's most famously miserable prince since Hamlet, is planning to go to the coronation of his father, King Charles. But no, it's not because they're wanting him to bring them back some digestives or get the autograph of the Archbishop of Canterbury. Instead, it is because, according to the source, the people who write Meghan and Harry's checks are aware that their currency depends on him still being seen as an active member of the royal family, and they're claiming that Meghan and Harry's celebrity status is starting to wilt. This news coming from the Netflix source marks something of a turning point. This is the first time that somebody who is allegedly inside the company has come out and expressed some worries over their investment in the royal refuseniks. And if we read between the lines, it sounds a lot like the people inside of Netflix HQ are worrying that Meghan and Harry may become the Hollywood equivalent of crypto, overhyped and overvalued, and everyone's a bit over it. With this news, it seems like Harry and Meghan have gone from a couple of hot commodities to some lukewarm leftovers. This month marks 3 years since Meghan and Harry left their royal positions to forge brave new lives in the US, where they would be free to drink as many vegan lattes as they want and discuss their truth, and also raise chickens. And right after they left royal life, I mean, what came after were big corporations excitedly lining up to throw money at the two of them. For the first time in nearly a century, ever since Edward VIII decided that long afternoons with Wallis Simpson trumped the throne, members of the House of Windsor had wanted out, and the corporate giants had been wanting in. So corporations such as Spotify and Netflix and BetterUp, the Harry Walker Agency, fintech asset manager Epic, and Penguin Random House were soon sending out press releases bragging about having secured the talents of Harry and Meghan. But a whole lot has changed since then, has it not? So have Harry and Meghan hit something of a dead end in America? Well, in the story in the Mail that featured the Netflix anonymous source, they were also quoting a senior exec at Disney as saying, "What Harry and Meghan do next is the $64,000 question everyone in Hollywood is asking. You could argue the bloom is starting to fade from the rose. What is their currency?" And even though people in Hollywood are asking, so far it looks like Harry and Meghan do not have an answer. Their most marketable commodity, their willingness to lay bare the inner workings of royal life, much like the Edward Snowdens of Kensington Palace, is one with a very limited shelf life indeed. They just can't keep on telling the same stories of woe over and over again and expect people to remain interested, much less sympathetic to their cause. And maybe this is something that Harry and Meghan realize, considering that Meghan has basically disappeared from view altogether. In fact, Meghan and Harry have not showed up in public together in 5 whole months. All of those book promoting interviews that Harry did in January, he did all by himself. So where is Meghan? Well, according to a recent report in the Telegraph, Meghan's been busy with her vision board. She's got the coffee percolating. She is planning and regrouping. Specifically, there are a few reports suggesting that Meghan is in the throes of trying to reboot her blog The Tig. Reportedly, she wants to get back into the lifestyle game. But the problem is that market is certainly oversaturated these days. We've got Kourtney Kardashian's Poosh, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, Kate Hudson's Fabletics, Reese Witherspoon's Draper James, and the successful makeup lines from people like Selena Gomez and Rihanna and Kylie Jenner. And those are only naming a few. So it looks like the market of celebrity women selling their wares is overcrowded. So is anybody going to care about what Meghan recommends for the best cashmere throws? Probably not. There have also been reports suggesting that the gruesome twosome are considering moving into scripted content for Netflix, like rom-coms, which sounds a bit ridiculous and outside their wheelhouse for sure. Now recently, the well-known British journalist Gordon Rayner wrote of Meghan in The Telegraph. Having been through the trauma of Megxit, the British chapter of her life is behind her, and in front of her all pathways are in the US. Well, the only problem with that is, are the people of the US as excited to have Meghan there as she is to be there? According to polling that was done earlier this month, only 36% of Americans have a favorable view of Meghan, and 24% hold an unfavorable view. Starting from such a half hearted base, Meghan doesn't seem like she's in the running to transform herself into the Martha Stewart of TikTok. And then we've got Harry, who still seems completely lost. Now, he's still got his signature cause, of course, the Invictus Games. It is pretty successful. And his daily bread and butter seems to be talking about mental health to anybody who will listen. But what does he actually do all day? It just seems like he's completely lost in his life. He lost his family, he lost his home. He lost his home in the UK and the job that he was born to do. Maybe Meghan can make a turn when it comes to her career, but what can Harry do with the decades and decades that lie ahead in his life? It looks like Harry is much like his great great uncle Edward VIII. Now he's facing being stuck at a lifelong loose end. And this is all happening as a number of Sussex allies show their support for the royal family. For example, Edward Ennifel, who works for British Vogue, wrote King Charles's recent entry in Time magazine's 100 most influential people list. And then what about their Montecito neighbor Katy Perry? Well, she's planning to perform at the coronation concert. And gospel singers from the choir at their wedding are also going to be there for the actual Westminster Abbey crowning ceremony. And just in case you were curious, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has appeared on that time list more frequently than any other member of the royal family. Friends of Harry have told The Times that he found being back among his family after the passing of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, last year awkward and difficult, and they said that he felt a twinge of regret over a missed opportunity of what could have been. The coronation is now less than 2 weeks away, so more twinges are set to come for Harry. Netflix is reportedly wringing their hands over the wilting celebrity, and there's also a painfully necessary Sussex rebrand in the offing. So it's not immediately obvious what Harry has to smile about at this moment. But still, the US is known for being the land of second chances, even for second sons into their second careers. So if nothing else, maybe we're soon going to be treated to Meghan's $199 This Candle Smells Like Kensington Palace. I would not be the first person to buy that one, though.